So why did I leave the entertainment industry? There's a few reasons. I wasn't really willing to compromise on some things morally, you know. Another thing is some really weird stuff involving my manager. Things could have gone really bad. As of right now, my manager is actually sitting in prison. But before we get into the video, don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe, hit the bell so that way you get notified when there's a new video, and comment below what some videos you want to see, because we are running low on our list and we want to put out videos that you want to see. So leave a comment. All right, let's get into it. So I'm going to start this video talking about how I got into the entertainment industry. Started doing acting, singing, dancing, and all that fun stuff. I get asked this question probably the most, second to do I still talk to Justin Bieber? But other than that question, this is the hottest question that I get asked. I feel so bad because my answer, it's not very direct. I can't really give advice on how to get involved in the entertainment industry. So let me go ahead and tell you why, so that way I can show you this video if you ask this question. A long time ago, probably when I was about 10 or 11, I'd say, we had this family friend and she was a singer, an incredible singer. And she was managed by this guy. She was staying with my family, her and her mom, because my parents were out of town. So they were like helping my family out by staying with us. And she had to do a photo shoot with her manager, headshots, different things like that. She asked if she could take me with her, and he said, yeah, I guess. I went with her on the photo shoot, and it was my first time ever doing anything remotely like that. It was so fun. He ended up actually taking photos of me, like headshot kind of photos. Later on, he got in contact with her, I believe, or got in contact with my mom, something along those lines. And he said, hey, Kristen is a natural in front of the camera. I'd love to manage her. I don't think anything really came of it right away, but I think within the next few months, we met with him, me and my mom, started pursuing this. He kind of took care of everything. And this is why I always say to people, honestly, God put me in the entertainment industry. I don't feel like I pursued it. He opened the door for it and we just kind of walked through. And my manager handled everything. He handled my headshots, auditions, casting calls, emails, contact with agencies. When people ask me, oh, how do you get an agent? How do you do this? I feel so bad, but I honestly don't know how to answer that because I don't know what agencies are gonna scam you or what agencies are legit. I don't know how to get an agent. My manager handled all that for me. He had me represented by a couple different agencies for different things. I don't really have much to say about that. And I worked with him for a long time. He would be the one, because he actually lived near us, and so he would be the one to take me to my auditions in LA some of the time if my mom was busy or whatever. He trained me, you know, with singing and acting and dancing. Like, we would work all the time on different scripts just to train, like just to build that craft. It did take a lot of work and effort, and it wasn't something I heavily pursued because I never thought about it. And so when he brought it to my attention, I was all for it because that's super fun, right? But then at the same time, when things kind of got hard, it was hard for me to be like super in it because it wasn't something that I was like, I want this so bad. It was like, this is fun. And when it wasn't fun, it wasn't fun. Obviously, as I grew and matured, I understood like I need to put in the effort. You know, it is hard work. Yeah, that's how I got in the entertainment industry. The reasons why I left are quite a few reasons. In the entertainment industry, it is all very last minute, and I'm the type of person who really likes to plan, and I love my friends, and I love hanging out, and I'm a total like social butterfly. I would make these plans with my friends and be so excited. Literally like that day, maybe the night before, usually that day, I'd get a text or an email saying, hey, Kristen, you have an audition. You need to practice these sides. We're going in like a few hours. And I'd have to cancel my plans, which absolutely killed me. I do not do well when plans change. It stresses me out. So that really was hard for me. Even though I did enjoy what I was doing, you know, it still had to come above my social life, which being junior high, high school, that was really hard. If you're in the industry and you're wanting this and you're pursuing it with all that you have, those things won't really matter to you. But because that wasn't who I am and I enjoyed it, but I wasn't so passionate about it, it was really hard for me to give up those things. Another reason why I left was because, like I said earlier, you have to compromise. I mean, you can not compromise, But the thing is you may not get as far. Depending on what your views and your values and your morals are, it may not be as much of a compromise or whatever. For me, I had never kissed a boy, and so when a job called for me kissing a boy, it was really hard for me to even want to audition, because I was like, what? So there's this one job that I auditioned for, and in the side it did say I had to kiss one boy. I think when we got the full script, I then found out you had to kiss like a couple boys. I think I was like 15 or 16. I was not emotionally or mentally, or probably even physically, I don't know, ready for that. They actually really wanted me for this job, and I remember so vividly having to meet with my manager and my mom, because I had told my mom, I'm not comfortable with that. Can you let my manager know? And she's like, no, you need to have this conversation with him. I was like, obviously she was right. So I remember sitting on my front porch and I was in tears, because I do not do well with confrontation. I've been working on it and I've gotten a lot better, especially in marriage. It's really hard for me to feel like I'm hurting someone's feelings or letting someone down, especially my manager. So I remember telling him like, hey, like I don't want to do the job. He was like, why not? You need to take this job. Like, you need to be building your resume. Like, that's how you're gonna get work. I was like, I'm just not comfortable with kissing a bunch of boys that I don't know, that I'm gonna meet that day. I haven't even had my first kiss. I don't want my first kiss to be for some job. I'm not gonna lie, he was not thrilled. It was very hard for me to tell him and like kind of stick to my guns, because I didn't want to let him down. And that actually is going to lead into more the weird stuff that happened with him. Really hard for him to accept, because as a manager, it's going to be really hard to manage someone and get them jobs when your client isn't willing to take those jobs if it involves certain things. And in that industry, everyone kisses. Like, Disney Channel has kiss scenes all the time. Like, he wasn't thrilled. And then shortly after, my relationship with my manager was, nothing ever happened physically or anything like that. So I'm just going to preface with that. You know, nothing ever inappropriate happened between us. However, there had been stories that we had heard about him having some stuff weird happening in the past, like way in the past, like decades before me, with a young girl. So I didn't know too much about it because I was pretty young when they found out, and obviously they weren't gonna share that with me. My mom was really involved, and she would ask me like, how are things? Like, he's never tried anything. And me and my mom have a very open relationship. I've always felt comfortable talking to her and going to her. She knew that I would have come to her if anything weird had happened. And I was a very outspoken kid. Like, I wouldn't hide that, and I wouldn't put up with it, because I thought of myself as like super strong and brave. And I didn't really recognize it until I left the entertainment industry. There was a lot of verbal, I'd say, abuse. I had a lot of insecurities. Over the years, thankfully I've seen God work those things out of me. And for over the next few years after I left the entertainment industry, I realized like I was the most insecure when it came to acting, singing, and dancing. Because to me, if it wasn't good enough for my manager, then it just wasn't good. If he did not approve what I was doing, it needed his approval. And his approval was pretty hard to get, I'm not gonna lie. Looking back, I see a lot of situations that happened that were not healthy, and that, you know, if I would have continued working with him and he would have continued to manipulate our relationship, the way I process things and stuff, being so young and growing so much, things could have gone really bad. I'm so thankful that they didn't. And I say that because as of right now, my manager is actually sitting, I believe, in prison just as of like a few months ago, because a lot of stuff has come out over the past couple of years, and even within the last year, like very recent stuff of things happening with him and a young girl. He had been confronted, and I don't know all the details. It's not something that I feel like I need to know. It's not my business. It has nothing to do with me. I remember one time I saw him when Sean and I were walking around the shops, like years and years ago, right after Sean and I started dating. And when I saw him, I got like this panic attack, and I like started stressing out, and like it was as if I had seen someone that I had broken up with and it was a really bad breakup or something. Like, it was, everything changed in me, and like I was like, we need to leave. Like, I can't run into him. Like, I can't. We didn't end on bad terms, but it was just weird. And I think that was God protecting me, and I'm so thankful for that, because like I said, I think it could have gone down a really bad path. I can't imagine what people have been through. I know a lot of girls who have been through that, and I can't even fathom the trauma that includes. Just from the verbal abuse or issues or whatever, the manipulation in my relationship with my manager, how it had scarred me, and how I'm still working through those things, and slowly but surely I'm just like accepting like who I am and what God's given me and the talents and the gifts. So that is one of the main reasons I left. Even though when I made the decision to leave, I didn't really understand fully why I was leaving. For me, I just felt like I needed to go. I never ever regret it. I get asked a lot if I regret leaving and if I wish I would have stayed and what if I would have become someone. And honestly, being famous to me doesn't mean becoming someone. Like, I love who I am and I love my family and I love my friends and my family and the people I'm surrounded with every day. And I think like if I would have pursued the entertainment industry and pursued fame and all that, like I wouldn't be who I am today. I wouldn't be surrounded by the people I'm surrounded by today. I'm so thankful for the opportunities that I had, the music video especially, the people that I've met that I still stay in contact with today. I love watching them. I love watching Justin and seeing his success and watching that he just sang at church. Like he just led worship at church. And I love that he's doing his best to be the absolute best he can be. He knows and recognizes like that's through Christ. And to me, that's awesome. So I think that's the end of the video. Don't forget to like this video if you liked it. And don't forget to subscribe, hit the bell. Yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I know that was probably a lot, but I really appreciate it. And don't forget to spread love and kindness today. Give someone a smile.